Hi guys, today I thought I will share how I did vent the crankcase for my bike. This was a really nice and easy setup. The professional and commercial solutions cost about 200 bucks. I was able to do that for about 7 bucks. So this is specific for M8 Softail. So I'm not sure if that can be used on the touring models, but at least I would like to share what I have for my bike. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I was able to actually do that before, so I kind of recreate everything to the best of my ability to show how I did it, and hopefully you guys will get the idea. I capture every step for this project that I did when I was actually working on it, so hopefully that will help somebody to save some money and also properly vent the crankcase. So here we go. Here you will see all the tools that we'll require in order to complete this project. This one is the tap and die set, super glue or any kind of instant glue, drill, and the drill bits. So let me show you how everything is being done. The first step in the process will be setting up our tools. So we'll take this bracket, and this is our tap. This is one for 7 millimeters. So here we go. We'll input this one in here. Alright, this one is ready for cutting the thread for us. Okay, let's get our drill ready. Alright, we are ready to go. We have our super glue, or in this case I use Permabond. This is our dipstick. So in here we'll have to decide where exactly we would like to drill the hole, just to make sure that this one will be like properly aligned on the bike, and I will be able to show that later on how I did it on my bike. And the next step in the process is obviously drilling the hole, which will be somewhere around here, making sure you drill it nice and straight. I decided to modify the previous ideas that people have for this specific dipstick. A lot of people will drill the hole here on the top, and I decided to do it like a little bit on the side. In this way it's looking a little bit cleaner on the bike. And as you can probably see, I already did everything for this setup. It's just a matter of going back a little bit with the video, so I show you guys how I did it as much as I can. Yeah, the next step in the process, after we'll have the drill hole, we'll actually cut the thread with our tap. So we'll go into the hole really nicely and just cut the thread, just so we can put the screw for the bleeder screw later on, to which we'll attach the hose. I also would like to show which kind of hose that I decide to use for this one. I see that a lot of people are using this quarter inch hoses, which I think is complete overkill for this. This hose is actually big enough. I mean, if somebody have more blow by than this hose can handle, obviously there is a bigger problem with the bike. This one is really nice and shiny, and I think it looks way better than something of this size. And the brand that I used was the Dorman, and this is a quarter inch by 3 feet. So this was definitely something that I felt was enough for this specific project, and you will be able to see how it looks on the bike pretty soon. The next step in the process of finish this thing up is actually drilling the holes that I drill on every side of this dipstick, in order to allow a lot of air to go through it. So for this one I use 1/8 of the size of the drill. I think this is more than enough. You can go a little bit bigger with this, probably, if you prefer. I just would like to warn everybody that will try to do it. Please go really slow with like nice angle. I kind of drill it with this kind of angle, and make sure that there is really nothing inside of the dipstick as far as those plastic particles, because definitely you don't want to have all these plastic particles inside of your engine. So what I did in here, I actually go really slow and then I took like a really tiny file and I just cleaned this up, making sure that there is nothing going through it. So what you will do, making sure that the screws stay nice and tight, you will actually, when you put it inside of the dipstick, when you screw it in, I use the super glue in order to make sure that this one will not really go anywhere. And I will say threading this plastic is really delicate, so be really careful to making sure that you don't damage the thread that you have in this plastic, because this wall of this upper part is actually really thin. So just be careful and make sure you put the super glue on the thread of the screw, let it dry properly, and yeah, this is what you will end up with. After I finish all this drilling and finalizing this part that you can see in here, what I actually did, I poured the water inside in here and allow it to go out on this side. And also I did the opposite way. I went with the water opposite way. I tried to pour it on this side and make sure that the water is coming out from this part of the hose. I did it for just a few minutes, and I did it in the kitchen sink just to assure that there is no particles inside. I mean, I was really careful when I was drilling those holes to make sure that all this plastic will come out like on the outside part of this dipstick. But at the same time, I would like to be 100% sure that there is nothing as far as like plastic particles that are sitting inside of this. Here you can actually see how this is finalized. So there is bleeder screw that goes into the hole that was being drilled in the dipstick. I put like a small rubber piece of the rubber hose just to kind of like cover this really nicely. Some of these bleeder screws have actually thread that goes all the way to the end, so it's even possible to avoid to having this piece. But that was the first time I was doing that, and that was definitely something new that I try. So just for people that will try to do it, maybe after watching this video, it's actually really helpful to find the bleeder screw that have the thread till the end, so it will actually go a little bit deeper and it will be even cleaner than this one. As you can see, I just use like a black marker to kind of finish this off with like black finish, and then I attach this short tube, or rather the hose that later on I will show how it looks on the bike, and that will be actually additional hose connected to the end in here that will actually vent all this oil and air that is coming through it. And as you can also notice, I drill the holes also in the bottom of the dipstick to allow the oil to go through it, and all this part inside is actually hollow. So I will hope that if there is not enough pressure, or if the oil is like sitting in here, after some times, maybe when we are riding a little bit slower, some of this oil can actually drain back into the crankcase. So this is kind of like final product as far as this part. As you can see, I drill like 4 little holes in here, and I was trying to blow the air through this dipstick, and I can assure you that there is a lot of airflow that is actually coming out with this setup. So here you can see this little tube that is inserted into the hose from the top part, and this will allow us to connect those 2 hoses together. So here you can see underneath the engine, so the hose is coming in here, and I just let it hang out there. I don't want to put any filter on at the end of it. I don't feel this is necessary. I really expect that there will be minimum blow by on this motorcycle anyway, so I just put it out there, and if anything has to come out, it will come out in here to the atmosphere. And yeah, I just stick it in here. So that will be probably the best setup that I can imagine for myself. So this is our setup for now. As you can see, there is hose going in here that allow venting to go outside, and there is a plastic tubing that was actually inserted inside of the hose that allow us to connect those 2 hoses together. So what you will do, you will just tie this one up, connect the hose together, and I have to say this is really nice and snug connection in here. You will put it really nicely like that, hide it, and here you go. This is your setup. So the last step in here is to actually put the cover back, and as you can see, you have really nice and clean looking situation here with this venting dipstick. So let me just put the cover back together. All right, I get another one here. Nice and snug. All right, this is nice. And just right now to demonstrate how it will look like in case you would like to check your oil and also assure that you have nicely vented crankcase, this is what you will do. You will just open it up, disconnect the hose. Now you can check your oil and then put it back on, connect it, just hide it really nicely behind it, and here you go, you are done. It really takes about 30 minutes to do everything together, and yeah, I think that hopefully it will help somebody in the future. And I know that they are selling those dipstick for some crazy money. I believe it's about like $200 for something that you can really accomplish for $7. And the total cost for this project was $7 and about 30 minutes of your work when you have the beer in the garage. So please like and share. I really hope that that will be really helpful for somebody. I will really appreciate if you guys like the video and share it with somebody that have the Softail, M8 Softail. I really hope they will find it helpful, and I am definitely looking for more videos coming in the future that I will try to show modification that I did. And I mean, every episode will hopefully bring something new. So thank you so much. Bye bye.